Please hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Hello? Okay. I caption it, the world in a mask. We are all suffering from the adverse effects of the coronavirus. I'm trying to minimize. Okay. Um, the title for the introductory part of the presentation is A World in a Mask. And I know it makes meaning to you because of what we are experiencing currently. Last time when I got the opportunity to speak to VO in Wuhan, thanks to the executives, I presented something similar about how the COVID-19 has affected our world. And we are all experiencing some of the adverse effects of the COVID-19, even though in China, it seems the authority have been able to subdue the virus to a point. We are still being cautious in everything that we do. So I was just stipulating that 2020 has taught us a lot of lessons, but perhaps one of the greatest lessons that this year has taught us is that health is wealth. This is a very popular adage or jargon that you often hear, that health is wealth. So if health is wealth, then there is no better time to discuss or talk about our health than now, because we've all experienced how it is to be like for your health to be threatened. And this year has really taught us. So there is no better time for us to discuss our health than this time. So it's a very great privilege for me to come here to discuss with you on health. And also it is a very nice initiative from the executive of the fellowship to also have this health program at this critical time in human history. So we have the COVID-19, and we all know this popular term, social distancing, where we are supposed to be 2 meters apart, whether the same sex or gender or the opposite genders. So this is an interactive part of my presentation. Before I continue, I would like us to discuss a COVID-19 vaccine. This is not technical. I just want some of you online to let me know if they will be ready to take a vaccine, supposing it is out, and why if they will not take the vaccine, and why if they will take the vaccine. So if you are online, please you can off or mute yourself and let me know, or let all of us know. This is just an interactive session, a brief one before I proceed to my presentation. So anyone, you can unmute yourself. Supposing a vaccine is ready right now, will you take it? Why and why not? Hello? Hello? Hello, please, can you hear me?
I don't know if I'm the only one hearing you or everyone can hear you. I can hear you, so I don't know.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, This is an
We all
interactive
can
part
hear
of
you.
the presentation. I'm just asking those online. Supposing there is a vaccine in, will you take it? Why and why not? Just, it's not technical. I won't ask any technical question. Just share your general view on it. Because of the duration of the program, I can't be talking um, for that time. It has to be very interactive for you to also be engaged in the health presentation of the program. So just share your thoughts. There are no right or wrong answers today. The Sabbath School made us know that education should be in a form of dialogue. I know Sister Rahel, Sister Jiwa.
And there is Paul and Sister Misha and Esther too. They
Yes,
cannot talk.
everybody can talk. Just share your um, thoughts on it. No follow-up question or probe. I just proceed. What do you think about a vaccine? Because since a lot of countries are trying to come out with a vaccine, it's very imminent that we may soon be taking a vaccine. And as foreign students in China, supposing we are to take, do you have any thoughts on it?
For me, I don't think I would take a vaccine this soon since it's pretty new. So I would like wait to see exactly what the results are of people who actually took it before I go and take it myself. So I won't be in a hurry to take a vaccine. Not so soon.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Any further thoughts? Sister Shiba, can see Sister Shiba on my screen. I don't know if you are around. Can see Southern Brian, Mr. Rahel, and a lot of names. Just share your thoughts on it. Please share your thoughts. Brother Bernard, Sister Natoya, Brother Paul. You can still hear me, right? Oh, hello? Hello? Hello, please, can you hear me?
We
Should I
can hear you
proceed?
very well.
Okay, okay. Maybe we have only one thought on this, so I'll proceed with the rest of the presentation.
I
Yeah.
think Sister Rachel has written something.
Oh, okay. Um, oh, I think we will all not go for it. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Uh, Yes, this vaccine dilemma, it all tells us the current state of the world that we are all experiencing some difficult moments in our lives right now. And it all boils down to the importance of health, how we should pay much attention to our health because if our health is threatened, then we will try to find solution. That's how come most of these countries are trying to come out with a vaccine to fight this deadly coronavirus. I will just pause here before I continue, just for us to play the game. I, few people contributed here. I hope most of you will also engage in the game also. So the game operates like this. You have to have a second device, like a phone. For me, I'm using a laptop currently to join this meeting. So I have to get a phone as my second device. So I will open the game. Then you can log in using your second device, which is probably a phone or a laptop or maybe an iPad. It's a game on COVID-19, just some general overview on COVID-19. I'll shine screen, then you can join this game. So please, I hope you can see my screen. So you join by logging into www.kahoot.it. Just enter this www.kahoot.it in your browser on your phone, and you'll be able to enter this pin to join the game.
We be in Zoom.
Hello? Is anyone talking?
Should we be in Zoom to join this?
Yeah, you have to see my screen. You have to see my screen, so you have to get a second device. So you can use your
The second device, should it be in Zoom?
No. It doesn't have to be on Zoom. You just open your web browser, then enter www.kahoot.it. So you join with this, or you have to download the app, but you can just enter this in your web browser, and it will give you the opportunity to enter this pin. When you enter this pin, then you join the game. So I'm waiting for those who will join. Please, let's try to be fast so that we go on to the main presentation.
Game pin.
This we said?
Game pin.
Yes, game pin is 3245470. It's on my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Yes, Natoya joined. Yeah, 2 people have joined so far. Okay. Brother Jacob also joined.
Oh, join. Make the game lively.
Yeah, I hope a lot of people join. It's just a simple game.
Jewa is there.
Yeah, I see you. Shiva is seen. Yeah.
Hurry up.
Is anyone facing difficulty joining? Or should we proceed with the form?
Just wait for a while.
Okay,
We are
okay,
still
okay.
Hey,
Okay,
more
okay.
people will join.
Okay, okay. It's because of the time, that's why I'm trying to be fast, but I'll wait.
Ernest, where are you?
we need the VPN to be on, right?
No, you
Yeah.
don't need VPN. But if you
Ernest,
have
join.
VPN, you can
Okay. Let me turn
use
it off.
you can use VPN or no VPN.
Or not?
Yes, yes. You just enter the web address, the URL address, then you join.
Be-
But the game operates on fastest hands. Supposing Sheba and Jacob chose the right answer, the person who get the highest score is the one who chose the answer at the fastest rate. So just try to be fast also in choosing your answer. So points are calculated based on who was fastest. Sister Dewa, it's okay for me to start the game. Just let me know. I'm still.
I think we are waiting for Bernard.
Okay, wait for a while now. I'm entering the pin. Just pin.
No problem, no problem. I don't know whether there is anybody joining again. Beatrice, Brian, Ernest. Join with one device and let's all participate.
Yeah, Drake is here.
Yeah, you can minimize your screen if you are using one device like a laptop. You can minimize the zoom and put it on one part of the interface of your computer. Then the Kahoot also on the other side, but maybe it will be difficult for you.
Okay, I see Paul in. Bernard, you are late.
No, see, I'm not late.
Can use any name. Maybe it's not mandatory for you to use your first name or your real name.
Let them use their first name. If you are last, you know you are last.
Look at you.
Oh, somebody dropped.
Yeah, Drake.
Miss
Okay.
Amwa joined.
Rachel is in. Miss Amwa.
Exotic also joined.
Exotic is also in. Hey, what is the Rwandan boy doing?
Stadio, I'll just wait for you for the go ahead, the green light.
Bernard, are you okay? Can we go on?
My internet, is it internet? I don't know. Still loading, connecting to.
He doesn't have a good phone. Let's go.
No, I'm using laptop.
Maybe you can use your
okay,
VPN.
Okay.
If you are having problem, just use your VPN.
Okay, maybe it's because of VPN. Let me
disconnect
try that
VPN.
Also. Now I'm in.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Okay.
Here I am.
Can we start?
Bernard is in. We can go on.
I think one person left. I don't know if we have to wait for the person. The person joined and just left. I don't know.
They are all here.
Oh, okay. So I can begin.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So fastest fingers first. Even though we all choose the right answer, just be fast with it. So I'm starting. You will see the options, multiple question or true or false on your phone or second device. Just answer. Looking at my screen for the question and selecting the answer on your second device. So I'm starting. So it seems two people got it wrong. Okay, let's go to the next question. Paul is on top. Okay.
Hey, Paul is leading.
Okay, two people got it wrong. Okay. Paul has come down. Natoya on top. Okay, let's go. Okay, everybody got it right. Natoya still on top. Okay. Forgive me. Everybody got it right. Fastest fingers. Okay. Wow. Only two people got it right. Two answers. Jacob still on top. Okay, this is true or false. Five. Okay. Oh, one person got it wrong. Two people. Brush my teeth. It won't keep you away from
Hey,
the
who is
virus.
that?
Brush my teeth. Okay. We are almost nearing the end of the quiz. So, social distancing. The opposite is social mingling. Social mingling is the answer. We have Paul on top. Oh, Okay. True or false? Will you be able to receive a ID from an infected place? Yes, you can receive. Oh, some people are okay. Yeah, young, healthy people. Ah, but the Paul is still on top. Oh, God. If you gargle your mouth with water, it won't protect you. Wow, but the Paul is still on top. Okay. Oh, eating garlic. During that time, there was a lot of misinformation. This was one of the popular misinformation. It's actually false. Brother Paul is still on top. Maybe Brother Jacob can overtake him. Oh, one person got it wrong. Oh, Brother Paul. Advice to driver. Yeah, you have to get some kind of ventilation, natural air. Oh, Latoya. Okay. Last question. Oh, there is no cure for the virus. The end of the
Hey, who are those?
11 out of 15.
Oh, Ted.
Oh, Ted. Okay. Latoya. Okay.
Oh, the first shall be the last. Paul, voila.
I can't see Brother Paul. Okay.
Hi.
Stop.
Hey, very interesting. Hey, thank you, brother. You have reduced the stress. Hey, thank you.
Okay. This was just some few minutes game. Okay. So I'll go straight into my presentation. Thank you all for participating. I'll just go straight into the presentation and hope to finish on time. We've already talked about the COVID-19 and vaccine, and as we are talking about coronavirus, even in the quiz, we got to know that hand washing is very important, and hand washing is actually biblical. Jesus, at a point, was questioned by this religious leader why his disciples ate with unwashed hands. Although I'm not going to the theological perspective of the matter, this just signifies that hand washing is biblical. We also see the example in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, where Pontius Pilate washed his hands just to symbolize he has no hand in what they are doing to the innocent man, Jesus. So we see these examples in the Bible about hand washing. So hand washing is a very important subject that we have to consider, especially in these difficult moments of our life. This is a very big presentation, but I just try to fuse it into what I want to present today. So this is a concise version of it. So how do we wash our hands? There are basically 6 steps or sometimes 7 steps in how to wash your hands. The first thing you have to know is that you always have to wash your hands under running water. If you want to wash your hands, it has to be under running water. That means the water will be flowing and then you wash your hands. So under running water, you first wash your hands under warm running water, not too cold and not hot water, but tepid water or warm water. Then you wet your hands with soap. You wet your hands with soap, and then as you can see, you start with your palm. You just form a ladder or with the soap with your palm, and then you go in between your fingers or your hands. Using your fingers, you go in between your hands. So I don't know if you can also see me. You use this right hand on your left hand, then the left hand on your right hand also, just in between your fingers. Then the fingertips and also the thumb. You just do like this, then the thumb. You can even go to the wrist where you do like also like this. So basically, this is the correct way to wash your hands. It's not only for nurses or doctors. It's for everyone to make sure that your hands is clean of germs. This is the process that you have to take to wash your hands. I don't know if anybody would like to practice or I should continue with the presentation. So always wash your hands under running water. Then you wet your hands with soap. Then you start with the palms. You form a ladder in your palms with the soapy water. Then you go in between your palms, in between your fingers, both the right and left. Anything you do for the left, you do for the right. You do on the right, you do on the left also. Then you go to your thumb, your finger, the tip of your fingers, and even to your palms, just like that. And we have several techniques, especially in the university or you visit a place, a public place where you have to wash your hands. When you are opening the, how do we call it? You are opening the sink, you know, the yeah, the sink, which is the outlet of the water. If you want to wash your hands on the running water, because a lot of people use it, it is advisable to use a tissue or if you're having a hanky is not advisable, but maybe you can improvise in the worst case. If you are using a tissue, you use the tissue to open that pipe, because a lot of people are using it. It's not safe, it might be infected. The other way is to use your elbow to open it. It's good. And if you are to close it, you also use your elbow. If you are to open a dustbin, you use your leg. You can't see my leg, I would have shown you. Use your leg to open the dustbin, because you are coming to wash your hands. You are coming to wash, that might mean there might be some germs on your hands, so you don't want to infect it. And another way is, supposing it is already infected, because a lot of people are using it with germs, it's infected with germs, and you finish washing your hands, you don't use the same wash the hands to close it. Just use your elbow to cap it or close it. So this is it. You wash your hands under running water. You then rinse the hands with water, and this is how you dry it. When you are done, make sure you rinse all the soapy water off. Then you use a tissue to dry your hands. So this is how you have to close it, either with a tissue or with your elbow. And this is how you should use your leg to also dispose of the tissue. So this is a video on hand washing. We see two people who are to wash their hands. They all use the public, excuse me to say, latrine. And we see one person not washing his hands and just touching his head and face. So I don't know if I can play the video. Oh, unfortunately, I'm unable to play the video, but maybe I'll play it later. So the message today is the Adventist Health Message. Adventists, we are blessed with a lot of truth, and we cannot attest to it, from the Sabbath school to the spirit of prophecy to many literatures that we have. We are blessed with a lot of truth, and it's not only just the biblical truth. We also have health message, which is also biblical. So the three angels message that we are heralds of, or we are supposed to preach to the world, also involve the health message. So if you go to my country, Ghana, mostly before we begin church service, I think I've also joined your programs, and you also have health presentation, because it's very key part of our Sabbath worship. So the Adventist Health Message today, we will know what it entails and what it means to us. So this is the outline. We already played the game, and we have the Adventist Health Message. I'll talk later about halitosis, and then maybe an open forum for a discussion. So what is the Adventist Health Message? It is Bible-based. Everything that the Seventh-day Adventists do, we make sure that it is Bible-based. We operate on what we call sola scriptura, Bible and Bible alone. So if you are supposed to have a health message for the public or masses, then it has to be biblical. So we have this text from Jesus Christ that he says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full, or in abundance. So Jesus Christ came to die for us, just for us to have life in abundance. So it's possible to have life and not have it to the fullest. That's when we are sick. So we have to make sure that we protect our health at all costs. Another text from Paul, he says that whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all to the glory of the Lord. During the time of Noah, some people ate and drank. That's what the scripture says, and it will also occur in the last days. Jesus says that people will be eating and drinking. Eating and drinking is not the sin, but the motive or the manner on how you eat and also taking a drink. The people did not go by the laws of God. They ate what they were not supposed to eat, and then they drank what they were not supposed to drink. So we have to make sure that everything that we do, even in our diets, we are glorifying God. And Jesus, Paul tells us that our body is also a temple of the Holy Spirit. If the Holy Spirit is ought to dwell in our body, then we have to make sure that we keep our body safe. And if you read the text, Paul says that through the sacrificial death of Jesus Christ, he has bought us with a price. And because Jesus has bought us with a price, we are not owners of our own self. We belong to Jesus Christ or God. And this is the text we read for our scriptural test or memory test. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper in health, even as you so prosper. So as we are talking about spiritual growth, we are also talking about physical growth, mental growth, social growth. And health is above all things. That's why the beloved of God, John, admonish his audience or readers that health is above all things that he wish for his people, even as their spiritual growth is important. Health is also equally important. So the Adventist Health Message is very key part of our doctrine, and it's very important for us to protect our health. And we can identify ourselves with this because of the COVID-19 virus, how health is very important. So our health message or the Adventist health message is also based on the spirit of prophecy. And the spirit of prophecy, through the pen of inspiration by Ellen White, penned these books, The Ministry of Healing and Counsels on Diet and Foods, which actually talks about the Adventist health message. So when you are less busy, maybe on the Sabbath Friday, you can just go through some of these books for any health reform. Back in the days around 1880 to 1950, when she wrote some of these books or came up with these ideas, many people were opposing him, but this has been proven to be true. And our message is also supported by science, because a lot of investment by the US government have been geared towards to examine or explore the health of Seventh-day Adventists who have been living longer lives than many people. So a lot of research have been carried on it, and a lot of papers have been published with positive findings. WHO and other health organizations have also supported some of the practices of Adventism or Adventists who go by the Advent Health Message. So where is our source from the Adventist Health Message? It is Bible-based, spirit of prophecy-based, or the writings of Ellen White, mostly the Ministry of Healing and Counsels on Diet and Foods. And then it's also based on our fundamental beliefs, the 28 fundamental beliefs. And as I said, peer-reviewed papers and also conference publications. So this is how the Adventist Health Message is sourced. We incorporate, or we do not look at only one perspective. We try to incorporate all, but it has to align with the Bible. So the Adventist Health Message is not a means for us to earn salvation, because there are some guidelines on how to keep our bodies. We are being told that our body is the temple of the Lord, and all the texts that I read earlier. It doesn't mean that we are following some strict laws to attain salvation. That's not how it means. There's a text by Paul. He says that you are trying to be justified by the law, and through that you have been alienated from Christ. You have fallen away from grace. So people are just going by the Adventist Health Message in a very legalistic way, and that is not the way that we are supposed to be. Anything that we do is not for merit. We are only attaining salvation by the grace of Jesus Christ, and as we are being justified by faith and not just by our works. And as I'm talking about freedom, just because we are not being saved by our works or how we go by the Adventist message, is also not an excuse for us to do whatever we like. We still have to obey God, just as we obey the Ten Commandments. We still also have to obey God by following His health direction that He has given us through the Bible and the spirit of inspiration, prophecy. So Paul admonishes that you, my brother, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge in sinful nature. We have to make sure that we do not indulge in sinful um, practices because we think we are free. Though we are not legalistic, we have to obey God. And you do not also have to be judgmental. Some people try to judge people because they think they are following the Adventist Health Message than any other person. You have to be aware of that. You should not be criticizing others. So you read Romans 14 and other texts in Colossians about diet, why we should not criticize others. And many people misconstrue it. Um, those particular Bible passages. So as we are trying to go by the health reforms propagated by the Bible and the spirit of prophecy on all the other sources that has been identified earlier, we should not criticize others. We should not do that. God does not want us to be judgmental. We are only to be discerning and correcting people in love and not to judge them. So what is the Adventist Health Message? The Adventist Health Message is balanced in nature. We do not go to extremes with our health message. We have the example of Daniel in Daniel 1 verse 6, where Daniel purpose in his heart not to eat the king's delicacies. We do not go to some extremes thinking that, oh, we have freedom, we are getting to a higher level, we can eat anything that we want, or we have some kind of privilege. We should not do that. We should follow the example of Daniel and the three Hebrew boys, his friends. And also, because we think we are following the precepts of God concerning our health, it doesn't merely mean that we are discarding some foods and still committing other sins. If you discuss some of these foods and you are taking in some drink, you are not taking the adequate sleep and all the health measures that you have to take, the appropriate health measures that you have to take, then it's cost 90, or what you are doing amounts to zero. It's just not discarding any food or keeping ourselves away from food or starving ourselves from some foods. It's basically following God's direction, the Christian way of temperance, doing all things in moderation. We have the test on appetite. We can attest to the test on appetite. Adam and Eve failed in Eden, and Jesus in Matthew 4 and Luke 4 passed the test on appetite. Everything that we do, we have to do it in moderation. We do not have to be like Esau, wanting to eat anything or a great amount of things. We have to do everything in moderation and in the Christian way. And our health message is also balanced, but we have to be very cautious. Some people, because they are just taking some vegetarian diets, they do not take the right diet. Vegetarian recipe has also their own menu or how to go about it, and people ignorantly eat some diet where they do not get the elements that they are supposed to get for their faculties to function properly, or for them to get blood. And blood is very important in our lives. As Jesus sacrificed his blood, we esteem it so high. So blood is very important. We need to eat the right foods for us to get blood. We should not shed blood. This tells us the importance of blood. So we should eat the right foods. Even if we are vegans or vegetarians, we should eat the right food to make sure that we are getting all the balance that, because the Adventist health message is balanced in nature. And we should not also be judgmental, uh, especially when people are trying to be vegetarians. Ellen White in the Ministry of Healing is saying that people are at different stages in their progression towards vegetarianism. And we know that it is a ladder like the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Some people are at the bottom, we have different stages. We should not be judgmental because we think we are at the apex. We shouldn't judge those who are low, because change is gradual. And the Adventist health message is also holistic in nature. You know, from the sources, we took the Bible, Spirit of Prophecy, peer-reviewed papers, conference, and also some scientific findings. It is holistic in nature. It attends to our spiritual needs, our social needs, mental, physical health. You know, when Jesus was healing people, he told them that your faith has made you whole, which is very spiritual in nature, or your sins are forgiven. And because of their faith and their sins being forgiven, they get this physical health. And in some point, Jesus told them that they should go out and proclaim the message, the healing to other people, like the two demon-possessed men. They wanted to follow Jesus, but Jesus said they should go in gatherings where Jesus was, into the city, for people to know that they have been healed. So it's attend to our spiritual needs, our physical health, our mental, and also social needs. So it is holistic in nature. And we see that the current Sabbath school is talking about holistic education, a Christian education that incorporates all kinds of discipline, which is also biblical. The Adventist message is holistic, as I said earlier, concerning the spiritual needs, that how it attends to it, because God through the Holy Spirit communicates to us through our minds. We have to make sure that our mind is clear. And how can we do that? By following the health direction in the spirit of prophecy and also in the Bible. We have to do everything in moderation and ensure Christian temperance. And it is our obligation to learn. We are being told that we should study to show ourselves approved unto God, a workman not ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And we can do that using our minds. So we have to make sure that our mental uh, faculties are also clear by eating the right food, maintaining the right way of living or lifestyle. I just got this picture from you. Maybe you can identify with it. It is social in nature. You have to interact with other people. That is what the Adventist health message entails. Tell people what God has done for us. Tell people how our dietary system or our lifestyle has made us whole. And it also attends to our physical need. We need to be healthy as long as we can, as much as possible, because God created us for service, not only to worship Him. How do we worship Him? We worship Him by serving other people. Like today, we read about the Good Samaritan. If we are not healthy, how can we serve people? So we have to make sure that we are socially healthy and also physically healthy to be able to attend to people. And we have to ensure regular exercise. And this regular exercise is just simple. It can be in your room. You don't always have to go to the gym or out in the street. You have to do some minor exercises in your room. You can even run in your room, do some push-ups, stomach exercises. And this is not an option. It is very essential for us for optimum growth. Anytime that we should just go out to exercise. And we should seek for sunlight, because sunlight is very important. It's not only plants who need sunlight for photosynthesis, we also need sunlight. Jesus created the sunlight, and Jesus himself is light. Today, when I joined the Sabbath school, we were deliberating on light also. Light is very important aspect of our life. It promotes health and healing, but we have to seek for sunlight in moderation because of sin. If there were no sin, the sunlight that we have today would be perfect no matter the amount. But because of sin, we have to seek for sunshine in moderation. Even a plant, if it receives excessive sunlight, it will die off, although it's good for the plant. That's why it has dark days also. So we get vitamin D when we look for sunshine in moderation, especially early in the mornings when there's sunshine. You can just go and bask in the sunshine for a while to just increase your vitamin D. And this helps to prevent bone disease like osteoporosis and rickets. This is a research finding. Sunlight also kills germs and also mold. And water is important. Jesus is the fountain of life, the living water. So water is very important aspect of our life. We must make sure that we take in at least 6 to 8 liters of water every day. As the guy is drinking, if you get able to drink 6 bottles or 6 cups of water every day, is very important. And unlike other liquids, water is very superior. When we take in drinks and anything that we take, we still feel tasty if we have not taken water. So this tells us the very importance of water in our lives. And we also have to go for fresh air at times because air is a very important aspect of our lives. And this fresh air, we cannot compare our AC to this fresh air because nature or what is natural is always superior to artificial things. Although we have AC in our offices, in our classrooms, even in our rooms, sometimes you have to go out for fresh air. Or if we can't go out, we can just open our windows just for fresh air. And we need rest, and there is no better rest than to rest in the Lord, which is going to church on the Sabbath. Proper rest is critical to a healthy body and mind. And this proper health is the Sabbath rest. It's not just idly resting in your bed. You need to visit a church and rest in the Lord because Jesus Christ, he said he is also the Lord of the Sabbath, the Lord of the rest. We also have to rest at times. We can sleep or put our secular works somewhere and then rest. And this weariness sometimes is not caused by too much hard work, but sometimes we visit social media, we have personal problems, and we are disturbed. We can put all the cares of this world aside and rest in the Lord. So Jesus said that, come with me and rest a while. We see some of these texts in the scripture because he thinks rest is important. And come with me actually means that we have to rest in the Lord because he did not just say that go to a quiet place, but he said, come with me. That is, come and rest in me. And Jesus tells us that in these times of work, we should have communion with him. Be still and know that I am God. So as we are still resting, let us ponder about God, to know his mighty work, to know how powerful he is. And this kind of rest, as I said and reiterating now, we have to rest on the Sabbath. That's why God made the 7-day Sabbath for us, a rest day for us. This is my friend, actually my best friend. He closed from work and we were coming back to school. Sometimes we do not sleep. We wake early in the morning to go to the hospitals, and he's so tired that he has to rest in a car. This type of rest does not give us the maximum energy that we need. We need a very cool place with a good bed where we can lay ourselves and rest. And this rest, we need about 6 to 10 hours of sleep each night. the sleep we sleep in the afternoon cannot compensate for the sleep during the night time. So it's very important for us to rest during the night time also. And if we do not rest early on time, we are almost up, we're always up, then eating. And we can, this can lead to bulimia, that is excessive eating, always waking up in the night and eating because we are not resting. And when we are eating, we have to have a schedule. When do I take breakfast? When do I take lunch? When do I take supper or dinner? Because if you regularly snack, always going for snack, it's not appropriate. So Ellen White tells us that there should be a specific time for each meal. Whenever we are eating, we should have a specific time, the specific amount that we can fill our bellies. And this part does not actually pertains to us because we are not indulging in harmful drugs, but some of these drugs can be common drugs that we are taking overdose. We shouldn't take overdose. Whenever we are taking a drug, we must make sure it's the right prescription from a qualified medical doctor. So we have a lot of illegal drugs that Ellen White cautions us about. We should avoid tobacco smoking. I mean, we do not smoke. We should also avoid alcohol. Proverbs 20 tells us that we should not look at wine when it sparkles up in the cup, when it shows its red color, that wine is a mocha. So we should just forget about alcohol. I know we do not take alcohol. And wine actually in the Bible also represents doctrine. So if you are taking this kind of alcoholic or fermented wine, then you are taking a false doctrine and it affects your faculties or your mind, which you are supposed to use to study about God. As I said, God communicates with us only through our minds. If we take excessive alcohol, then we are harming our minds. The natural foods that we eat, it has some little amount of alcohol that God wants us to have. And drinking alcohol can lead to child abuse, domestic violence, and a whole lot of things, death and accident, poverty. And this is a lab animal. Wrong habits of eating and drinking destroy the health and prepare the way for drunkenness. Many people say, oh, I will not drink wine, I will not drink this and that. But their wrong habit of eating will eventually lead them into drunkenness. And an experiment was performed whereby a lab animal was fed with teenagers that just these junk foods. And because he was fed with that, not eating rightly, when he was tasty and they put in front of it alcohol and water, the rat or the lab animal chose alcohol instead of water. So we can see how bad or the devastating effects of wrong habits of eating or alcohol in our lives. And coffee, we should also avoid coffee. And we should eat vegetarian diet also. Because of time, I'll just be going on and on. And whenever we are eating, especially when we are taking Milo and other things, we should not mix sugar with this milk because the milk itself was made with sugar and other things, which will equally make the tea or what we are taking in good. So it has proven that vegetarians live longer lives, about 3.7 years longer than non-vegetarians. And this has been studied that a lot of vegetarians live longer lives, especially Adventist vegetarians. So eventually, it is good for us to be vegetarians also. So as I was talking about Milo, we should. Milo comes, I don't know the type of tea here, but tea itself, and why it talks about tea and coffee as equally not good. But supposing we are taking Milo, we shouldn't mix sugar with the milk. The milk itself already has sugar. And the Adventist Health Message make us rule for us to serve people and this is also our duty. So this is the conclusion of the Adventist Health Message. We should eat breakfast. We should cut out empty and refined calories. We should eat more fruits and vegetables, consume less fats. Also, learn to eat fast, not eat between meals. A lot of snacking is not good. We should get plenty of exercise and reprogram our minds. Before the 1960s, this Adventist Health Message, heralded by Ellen White, was radical. Then later it got tolerated, and now it is in the 90s it was accepted by the scientific community, and now it is deemed acclaimed. And this is something we call celebrations. It is an innovative way for us to be aware of our health, put forth by the general conferences. The general conference, it has to do with our choices of eating. So there is a slide on this aspects of our health in our choices. In exercise, these are very important. It is termed the celebrations. Then liquid, we've already talked about water. Our environment has to be clean. Our belief, what is our belief? Rest is important. We need fresh air. We have to go for the Christian way of living, which is temperance, doing everything in moderation, and maintain our integrity, ensure optimism, nutrition, and also social support and services, because we are being made to ensure we are healthy to serve other people. If we live a callous life or an ungodly lifestyle and we are not healthy, that means we will not be able to serve people God wants us to serve. So we have to make sure our choices are right. We take in the adequate rest, air, eat proper diet, and then we can support people in our community. So this is the end of my presentation on the Adventist Health Message. I have some few minutes left. I'll pause here. Okay, I have a message. Okay. Please, do you have any top up? Is anybody willing to make a contribution? Any contribution before I go on to the last presentation? Then I conclude. Any idea to share or any comments? Or I should proceed? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
any
yes.
comments? Any comments? If there are no comments, I'll proceed to the last presentation. It's also very important to us. So this just laid the foundation for the last presentation, that our health is very important. From the games we had to this presentation, just a foundation about why health is very important. I'll just go on to the last presentation. I'm supposed to end at 4:30. I'll just go on to the last presentation and then I'll conclude. It is captioned Halitosis, an invisible hindrance to soul winning. This presentation was made during the Pentecost 2018 by my friend Caleb Benson and myself. Um, we have some kind of network which we call the Health Evangelistic Network, HEN. So this is like our organization where we go and make presentations on our health. We use the symbol of hen, a mother who cares for his chick and make sure they are healthy until they are able to also lay their own eggs. And one of our members, there are two actually, Apia and Tibu, they published a book on kissing and your health. So this presentation, you will see that it is it aligns with the theme of kissing and our health. Halitosis, as we go, you will get to know more about it. So they published this book and it's available. If you need one, you just text me and I'll connect you with them on how to get this book. It's a very important book and it was promoted and launched on TV in Ghana. So what is halitosis? Halitosis simply means bad breath, having a bad breath. And as Adventists, one of our key aims is the gospel commission we find in Matthew 28, where we are told that we should go out and minister to people, teaching and baptizing them. And if you're having a bad breath, sometimes it can be a hindrance to witnesses. And a lot of divorce in this world, according to statistics in scientific papers, is caused by bad breath. People ignore people who often have bad breath. Just this year, I read a touching story about a PhD student, or not a PhD student, he had his PhD in Sweden or in one country, I think Budapest, Hungary, and he worked in some African countries and later went back to Ghana. And because he had bad breath, he was ridiculed by friends. He could not get wife or to marry, and he just committed suicide because all his life they have been ridiculing him. And even after he got his doctorate and he's earning big money, people are still ridiculing him. So he just committed suicide because of bad breath. And as I was thinking about presenting today, I thought this is a very important subject that we have to talk about. It may not pertain to us, but we may know someone or we may encounter somebody in the future. And how do we help the person, or how do we go about it? So halitosis or bad breath is very important for us. As I said, a lot of research have been done on it, and it is known to cause divorce. And those who are having it sometimes make several or conscious effort to overcome it. And some chew gum or some toffees all the day. Even if you greet them, they will not respond to you or just smile to you because they have this low self-esteem because of the bad breath or halitosis. And this is a story from one guy that he's dating, hoping to marry, and his partner or girlfriend alerted him that, oh, you have bad breath. And because of that, he wanted to secure the girl. He brushed his teeth for a countless amount of time during the day and got ulcerations in the mouth just to prevent the bad odor. So we see how bad breath is very devastating on our self-esteem. And it doesn't only affect the person who has it, it affects people around him as well. And it's very difficult sometimes to tell people that they have bad breath because of sometimes our age difference. In my country or culture, sometimes we are taught not to criticize the elderly. So it becomes very difficult. Or somebody who has a high social status is difficult. And some people have ego. They do not treasure people or treat people well. And because of their ego, sometimes it's difficult for us to inform them that we have bad breath. So halitosis or bad breath is something which we do not talk about mostly in our society because either I feel it difficult to tell the person or I feel the person will feel embarrassed. So we do not tell people, especially when they have bad breath and they are our friends, we do not want to offend them. So we just try to accommodate them. But this is not the way to go when somebody is having halitosis or when we feel we are having such a disease. So just imagine admiring somebody for long and the person, we call it crush. I've met my crush, and your crush comes to talk to you and the crush is having bad breath. We just push you away. Or you have a professor or a lecturer and the lecturer has been intimidating you and you get to know that he or she has a bad breath. How do you approach the person and tell the person? It's very difficult, I know, to alert people about the bad breath, but as we go, we will find a way to inform people. I hope to end soon so that we can just talk a little. Forgive me if I go a little bit overboard pertaining to the time. I've already talked about this. It is estimated that if we take 4 people in this world, every one of them has bad breath. So this is a very common condition that we find, and it's caused by the activity of certain types of bacteria in our mouth. So as I said, bad breath is also known as halitosis, and it's a symptom which is, it can, normally what we know is the unpleasant odor from the mouth of the sufferer. And the bad breath occurs because of oral bacteria, what the bacteria in our mouth. And when our mouth dries up, there is little saliva, we are likely to have bad breath. That's why when you wake up early in the morning, it seems breath, our mouth odor is a little bit unpleasant, and that is normal. It's very universal in all adults. It's normal or common for you to wake up in the morning and experiencing some kind of bad breath. But when you wash your teeth, you gargle with water and brush your teeth, it goes off. And sometimes some people feel they have bad breath, but actually they do not have it. So this is a non-genuine case, and it's estimated that between 5% out of 70 cases. It rarely occurs, but some people sometimes feel they have bad breath, meanwhile they do not have it. And this halitosis or bad breath is caused by a lot of conditions. It can be medications, dental problems like toothache or caries or plaques. It can be infections, diabetes, kidneys, and a whole lot of, there are always underlying conditions causing the bad breath. So if you want to tackle it, sometimes you have to know the underlying condition. And taking tobacco, some of us, we are familiar with the people who take tobacco and alcohol. They also have bad breath. And sometimes food particles, they get stuck in our mouth, especially during dinner. We just eat and go to sleep. We can use a toothpick to take it off or just brush our teeth. And foods like onion and garlic and other vegetables, they also have some high scent that comes along with it. So if you are having bad breath, it's not advisable to take this kind of things. Or, and dry mouth, when there is little saliva in your mouth, you are likely to experience bad breath. So we should drink a lot of water. And dental hygiene is also important because bacteria in the mouth often also cause bad breath. And drugs, we have to be careful of the drugs that we take. There are some drugs that we are not supposed to take, especially nitrate to treat angina and some chemotherapy. Those who go for chemotherapy, if you are having bad breath, you have to discuss with your doctor on the kind of drugs to take, because some of these drugs can cause bad breath. And foreign body in the nose, especially in the children, sometimes they have foreign bodies in their nose. It blocks their airways, and as a result, they have bad breath. You know, our ears and mouth, our buccal cavity or mouth and the nasal cavity in a way is connected. And as we've already talked about the effect, it can cause divorce, poor self-esteem. It can even affect our businesses. Sometimes some people are in their market or their stores, they want to sell their goods, and people are not coming to their shop, and their business or businesses are collapsing. It could be as a result of bad breath. So there are a lot of things that goes into every aspect of our life that we have to take critical look at. So how do we manage it? We have to brush our teeth at least twice a day for 2 minutes and drink a lot of water, because the absence of saliva in your mouth, or when the mouth becomes dry, you are likely to develop bad breath that we see in the morning. When we sleep and wake up, because we did not do any activity and close our mouth for a long while, there is little saliva. That's why we have the morning breath, which is common. So we should drink a lot of water, and we can just brush our tongue or use a scraper, and avoid taking onions and other foods that contribute to bad breath. And we should eat enough breakfast. We can also floss our teeth or gargle with water. Some of the mouthwash, they have been proven to be very good or effective in treating this. And I know we do not take this, but we can advise people to stop drinking coffee, tobacco, and avoid alcohol. And we should brush our teeth, use a new toothbrush. Sometimes we use our brush for a year or almost 2 years, and people use it for a long time before they change. We must change our brush regularly. And we can take this feel like lemons. They are also very good remedies for treating mouth odor. And we can visit our dentist, and these are experts who can give us expert advice on how to overcome these. So if we prevent this mouth odor, or if we have it and we treat it, then we can maintain our relationship, not just boy and girl relationship or male and female, man and woman, our social relationship. As we talk about the Adventist Health Message, that is also include social needs. We can maintain our relationship, and also we can go about to witness to people and win more souls for Christ, and ensure there is teamwork, because people go away or ignore us because of bad breath. We have to work together in unison to ensure we win more souls for Christ. When somebody is having bad breath, you have to be bold to tell the person, or find a way to tell the person. So this is our discussion. When I'm ending soon, I would like you to express how you think you can inform somebody who has bad breath, a friend or somebody with a high social status. What is the best way? Is something that we have to ponder about, how to communicate to people that they are having bad breath. So this is the end of my presentation, and this session, I've ended the presentation. It's an open mic. Anybody can speak, or I leave to Miss Rahel to lead the open mic. Miss Rahel or Sister Jiwa or Elder Audrey. I know about Audrey. I've ended my presentation. Thank you for the invite. If you have anything, especially on the bad breath, how do we go about it? How do we inform people? If you also have any contribution or question on the presentations I made, you can talk. So I've ended my presentation.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
before Sheba comes in, I have a little contribution. It's difficult to tell somebody the person is having bad breath. I have a difficulty with a friend who had maybe now I am a little I'm a little bit bold to tell people now, because those times we were young, and if somebody doesn't give you that space, it's difficult to tell the person is having bad breath. And I hope when we don't speak more often to people who keep quiet often, they tend to give bad breath.
Are you
How
sure?
true is it?
I'm a quiet person.
Yeah. If you tend to close your mouth often,
Yeah.
try and see.
Hey,
If you don't talk often, when after some time, when you open your mouth, the smell is bad. Yeah, so that's what one thing to have recognized. My observation.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, the speaker also spoke about avoid eating onions and garlic. I don't know if it's about avoiding eating them at all, like we shouldn't eat them, or I don't get it. Because me, I'm really a fan of onions and garlic, so
Oh,
I don't get
no, no, what I mean is we should do everything in moderation, uh, especially for people suffering from bad breath or mouth odor. If you are suffering from this condition, then you have to pay much attention to some of the things you take in, your vegetables, like I talk about the onion and garlic. If you are not suffering from it, then you can eat as much as you want, but in moderation. But if you are suffering from it, you should be careful what you take in. And even if you are not suffering from it, um, you have to be careful, especially when you take in a lot of garlic. Like if you are not eating in moderation, we cannot attest to it. If you take in a lot of garlic foods and onion food, those spicy foods, and you don't brush your teeth and you just go out, even somebody not suffering from this disease, people can feel the scent. Or I hope you get me. So you just have to do it in moderation, even though you are not suffering from it. But basically, it's for people who are suffering from it.
Oh, okay. I get the point. I get the point. So thank you for that presentation.
And especially when in
Mr.
our
Michael.
local churches, when they say stand in twos to pray, the person is having garlic and ginger in the mouth like that. Please,
Yeah.
when you know if it is something like that, let's get some mouthwash to clean our mouth so that it's nicer. You can't even breathe when the person is praying. It becomes
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, brother Sapon.
Yeah, Mr. Michael.
Yes.
Hello?
Please, after
I
brother
want to
Sapon,
ask.
you speak. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask whether. Okay, I want to ask whether bad breath could relate to hereditary or maybe genetic.
Ah, it's rare. It's possible it can occur, but it's very rare. Normally, it is based on our own health practices. This is something that we can overcome. You know, some of the hereditary disease, like those are like underlying conditions. We talk about diabetes. Diabetes, we have two types of diabetes. One is sometimes hereditary. If your father or mother or relative is having this disease, it's likely that at a point if you, in your life you do not take care, you can also acquire this disease. But this disease will trigger this mouth odor. It's not like it's a process. It's not um, just a constant that maybe your mother or father has it, and because of that, you are also going to have it. Because when you are having diabetes, the drugs that you take, we talk about some medications like nitrates and phenothiazines causing mouth odor. If you are suffering from diabetes and other kidney disease, those are responsible, the kidney liver, for drug metabolism. And if you are suffering from this, the body is not able to metabolize some of this drug, excrete this drug, and traces remain in your body and blood. And as a result, it causes this breath. And yeah, so there is just an underlying disease. It's a contributory factor, but not a straightforward factor.
But I was also told that many a times it comes from maybe someone might have some I would say complications in the head. Sometimes to someone just told me that when you have a bloated like when you bloat your stomach, sometimes it ferments and it passes through your mouth.
Yeah,
That's what they're saying. But for those who eat late at night, like take a lot of meat and sleep late, sometimes I don't know whether it's true, but they said it ferments in your stomach and passes through your mouth as maybe a strange bread.
yeah, it just affirm that late eating is not good for us because when you eat, it has to take some time. You have to perform some kind of activity or be active for a while for digestion to adequately take place. So if you just eat and go to bed without any activity or not staying active for a while, digestion does not take place. Well, as I talk about the liver, the stomach, we have gastric juice and other things in the stomach responsible for this digestion and for everything to function well. So if you do not eat rightly at the right time and this doesn't occur, digestion doesn't occur at how is the rate is supposed to occur, then traces of this food might be left in your body. And if you've taken some spicy food like garlic and all these things, if they are not properly excreted, if you are practicing this thing, it gets your body gets used to it, and so it's just a contributory factor. It's not something that is directly causing it. They are all contributory factors. They are not direct causations, just contributory factors.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Okay, I want to believe that Jacob also has posted a question here. I'll read it. It says, isn't also kissing a baby 0 to 1 year just upon waking up in the morning hours infecting where? I don't get the question, but I believe the speaker has got the question. Is it a way of affecting? I don't know.
Yeah, it's not, how do we say it? Infectious. It's not something like the coronavirus, which is being transmitted by contact with infected people or surfaces. But it might be unpleasant to the baby, and the baby may not be able to speak. It's not good for the baby. If you wake up and you think you can just rinse your mouth before giving the kiss, the Bible said we should give one another holy kiss or greet one another with a holy kiss. It's good, but maybe it's unpleasant to the baby or the person receiving it. It's not something that is transmitted by saliva or something. It's more about our dietary practices, not trans infectious like in your question.
Okay. I believe Brother Jacob has got his answer. I thank you, our presenter, for this wonderful presentation from the tastes and the hand washing presentation and the Adventist Health Message and also the bad breath presentation. I've really gained a lot more so from the game, the taste game. At least I've got some knowledge about COVID-19 that I really, really didn't know. At this point of time, we will have music from Sister Beatrice. We'll have Sister Beatrice will give us some music. I am seeing a contribution coming up.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. Sister Beatrice, are you there?
Yes, Shiva.
Yeah, it is your time.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here.